Oh, look. The Swedes have a union over the Norwegians. We've got a Hussite March of Prussia, part of our West Slavic Empire, that is continuing to grow. I am loving this. This is exactly how it should be. My name is Quagersall, and if you're like me, then the wait for a new patch can be a grueling one. Why play the game when you know everything is going to be fresh and new in just a few weeks? Well, I think this is the perfect time to jump into a new experience that can liven things up. Dare I say, add flavor. As we wait for Leviathan to drop. Flavor Universalis is a high-quality Vanilla Plus mod for EU4 that just got a big update this last Saturday with Victis Honor, the fourth major update for this mod that focuses around Switzerland and Bohemia. Now, in the past, I've done a few of these mod spotlight videos, and I plan to do more in the future. You guys seem interested in Voltaire's new Nightmare, so expect that one in a week or two. And let me know down below other ones that you'd like to see. But let's talk about what sets Flavor Universalis apart. The mod designer, who goes by the name Big Boss, has a distinct focus on quality over quantity. The updates to this mod feel fresh, balanced, and playable right out of the box. It's almost like he beta tests. And so far, they've always felt like they're not only an improvement over the base game, but also could very easily be added by PDX as DLCs. They are that good. Now don't get confused, this mod is most certainly Vanilla Plus. It doesn't change the map radically or add a bunch of new major mechanics like an overhaul mod such as Anbanar. But what it does do is add events, mission trees, and sometimes a few mechanics to make the vanilla game more lively. If that interests you, then stick around. I'm going to talk about the 4 major updates to Flavor Universalis, which countries they focus on, and what cool things are in their mission trees. I should also note that Big Boss has been associated with the expanded family of mods in the past, and does recommend the use of Trade Goods Expanded, Idea Groups Expanded, and Advisors Expanded when you're using with this mod for new effects, mechanics, and mission rewards. However, I will not be showcasing these other mods here. Frankly, the expanded family of mods deserve their own video, really a series of videos. So let me know if you guys are interested in those. Keep in mind the link to the mod on Steam is in the description below, and from there he links to the other 3 mods. So let's get started. Be sure to check out the Discord for this mod if you want to talk about the mod specifically, ask questions, see teasers for the next update, all that jazz. And head over to my Discord as well if you want to talk about EU4, modded or otherwise, playing an MP on Saturdays. It's the best way to know about when I post videos or go live on stream, that sort of thing. All of that is in the description. Here we go. First, because it's the fresh new content, I'm going to be talking about the most recent update for Flavor Universalis, Victis Honor. Then I'll jump back and talk about the initial release, Parabellum, followed by Beyond the Levant, and Mare Nostrum. Finally, we'll talk a bit about what to expect in the future for the mod. There should be timestamps down below if you want to jump around. The newest update for Flavor Universalis, in fact just released last Saturday, Victis Honor focuses on Switzerland and Bohemia. First up is Switzerland. Now the Swiss have a new subject type in the mod called a canton. You gain the ability to get these via events and missions, but basically they function similarly to vassals, but with a bit more autonomy. To be honest, I don't want to give too much away here. If you're interested, explore the mission tree to find out more about them. The mission tree itself will of course let you secure the Swiss lands, eventually having you push into Burgundy, northern Italy, pushing north into Baden, and even capturing Tyrol from the Austrians. There's some really good permanent modifiers like core cost reduction, a free Diplo reputation, re-election costs. There's even a really interesting one here that gives you fort defense and scales even further if you have defensive ideas completed, which of course you should because you're going to be playing Switzerland. Now, a Switzerland campaign in this mod would be an awesome time, but keep in mind, however, the mod is not achievement compatible. It does change mission trees and therefore the checksum, so PDX will stop you from getting achievements with the mod on, unfortunately. Now, I may be biased because Bohemia was one of the countries I played the furthest into the game while testing the mod, but I have to say the Bohemian mission tree and just the general feel of the campaign is great. In the mission tree, you have the ability to force unions over Poland, Hungary, and Austria. You're going to get claims to push you into Brandenburg and Bavaria. And as you saw in the opening teaser, you can even form a Hussite Duchy of Prussia. Later, you get claims on the Ottomans to push them out of Europe and forge yourself quite an impressive empire. Along the way, you can get the elective monarchy from Poland and get some really good permanent modifiers like province war score costs, free set of policies, 2 diplo relations, vassal force limit contribution, monarch diplo skill. There's a bunch of others like construction costs, trade value, dip rep. The list goes on. There's a whole bunch happening in this mission tree. If you want to bash some heads as the Hussites, maybe later flip Protestant and reclaim the empire, or even if you just want to stay true to Catholicism and become the shining bastion of strength in Eastern Europe, this campaign is a blast. This is the state of my campaign in the early 1500s. My ally, a very strong France, has just become the defender of the Catholic faith. That's a problem, obviously, because I'm Hussite, and that's stopping me from expanding in this direction. I still have some pretty strong enemies to deal with, including a large Muscovy, a resurgent Kalmar, the Aragonese, who have united Iberia and this area here, and even a not quite dead yet Ottomans and a Mamluks behind him. I legitimately had to stop myself from playing this campaign. I was having so much fun. I'm just supposed to be testing, but look at this. It's 15-16, guys. I think if a little try hard, and I could have been even further. This campaign is great. Now, focusing on 2 countries seems a bit small for an update, but keep in mind that quality is the goal here, and believe me, these 2 campaigns are super high quality with this mod. There's quite a few other countries that have received updates though since the mod went live, including the initial 3 countries that we'll talk about next. Flavor Universalis itself has been out for not even 3 months. Its initial release was back on January 24th. Taglined Parabellum, the original form of the mod featured updated missions for Milan, Novgorod, and Sweden. Let's start with Milan, because this thing is a beauty. The early mission tree focused not only on giving you claims to northern Italy, but improving monarch skills, helping with things like diplomats, diplo reputation, aggressive expansion impact, all kinds of things that you'll need to expand in this dev-rich area. I think the Milan tree is a great showcase to get a feel for mission trees in this mod, as it has examples of some of the really cool things that Big Boss likes to do in mission trees, like make rewards change based on conditions separate from the fulfillment conditions, such as this mission right here, which will allow you to possibly get an elector slot for Milan, but it requires that there's an elector slot available. Otherwise, you only get the +1 legitimacy, which you'll always get from fulfilling this. Or the next one down here, where if you're friendly with Austria, you might be able to get them to transfer you Tyrol as a vassal. These aren't super easy to pull off, but they're kind of cool to shoot for, and I think they add a lot. There's missions like this one later on that can reduce the chance of plague effects later in the game. He's shaken up a lot of events, modified many things throughout the game, so keep an eye out for events not doing the same thing that you might think they would. And this final one here gives you admin efficiency and governing capacity, which are of course really good, but if you become a hegemon, it's going to give you max absolutism and all power costs as well. I think this is such an awesome way of giving an extra bonus. Sometimes it might make sense for you to push for that extra bonus. Sometimes it might make sense for you to just finish the mission and bypass that extra bonus to try to get onto something even better later in the tree. One kind of cool thing is that using one of these missions, you can get a free flagship. It's a galley flagship once you kill Venice, but it's pretty nice. I usually forget to make flagships, so that helps me out a little bit. You might even be able to get 2 using that. That's a little bit of an exploit. I think that's cool. But also, get to form the Kingdom of Lombardy. But of course, we're going to form it. And you can see that we have basically the base game Milanese ideas. Pretty good, actually. Not bad at all with the infantry combat and that sort of thing. But if we switch over, we'll get Lombard ideas, discipline, dev cost, infantry combat ability, admin efficiency, aggressive expansion impact. They're decent. Some of these are pretty good. You can make yourself a replacement for Venice as well, which is, it's actually a fun campaign. I think this would be a really fun one to do. Shifting the focus to Novgorod, this tree will give everyone's favorite Muscovite punching bag an actual interesting campaign. If you're able to take back your cores, you can start to receive permanent claims that'll push you all into Russian lands. But land wars in Asia aren't the only focus, as the side tree here focuses on naval affairs, culminating in a heavy ship combat ability and naval combat bonus off of owned coast. Yes, that is a Russian version of the wooden wall. And then the religious tree down here will give you patriarch authority, yearly, army tradition, tolerance of the true faith, and eventually this end cap of goods produced and costs to promote mercantilism for the rest of the game. Novgorod in this mod could be my newest, funnest way to form a super buffed, trade-focused Republican version of Russia, which I think is just awesome. It endlessly amazes me that Paradox, a Swedish company, in a game largely focused around Europe, in a time frame of Sweden's height of influence in the world, does not have a mission tree for Sweden. Big Boss has corrected this oversight with an extremely nice one. There's some really nice modifiers that help you get out from under the Danish, including the possibility of taking the Norwegians with you. There's claims that allow you to eventually push into Russia and into Denmark proper, right up to the border with the Empire. If you're able to secure Prussia, you're going to get morale of armies and aggressive expansion impact, which are great for when you push into Poland to try to get the Diplo reputation and improve relations, which will help you push into the Empire. As you guys know, there's a lot of aggressive expansion in the Empire. Some more permanent modifiers come in the form of goods produced, governing capacity. Things like this naval force limit and global naval engagement can help you take on the British. Hopefully your version of the Vasa won't just sink in the port. Of course, religion is incredibly important for any Sweden game, and the religious branch of the tree here allows you to be flexible, either to stick with the Catholics or to become the Protestant Lion of the North. To be honest, Sweden in the base game is a bit lacking. As I said before, the lack of a mission tree is a big hole, but thankfully this mod makes Sweden a blast to play. The first major expansion for Flavor Universalis, Beyond the Levant, does just what is on the label. It takes us beyond the Levant and focuses on nations in Arabia and the Horn of Africa. Adal, Ajuran, Yemen, the Rasids, Hormuz, Mushasha, and Ethiopia all receive new events and missions in this update. The new mission trees in Arabia are great. With the Yemen tree, you can get tech cost and construction cost reductions, along with some really cool variable rewards that change based on, say, who your largest ally is, or which Islamic school that you take part in. While the Rasids give this tiny but powerful mission tree. That'll give permanent claims on all of Arabia, along with AE reduction in Diplo reputation that'll help you form Yemen and eventually Arabia, along with a gold mine and permanent inflation reduction to help fund it all. Mushasha would also be an interesting way of forming Arabia, as they get permanent force limit and monarch military skill bonuses as well. Hormuz is similar, although their claims will push you more into this area of into India and be a little more trade focused. In the Horn of Africa, Ajuran can be a fun one to play. You're eventually going to get a free colonist, monarch diplomatic skill, free merchant, a bunch of other little things in here. It can be a really nice little mission tree to have a fun campaign in this area. Adal isn't too shabby either. Their mission tree focuses more on being a ground power and dominating the area, killing both Ajuran and Ethiopia nearby, although they do have some trade-focused things. The inclusion of a tree for Ethiopia is a great addition. I swear this country is the most popular for people to play in this region, but has no special mission tree in the base game. This tree gives claims on in the entire area to help you unite it. It gives them really nice bonuses later on, like extra missionary, discipline, war score cost versus other religions, things that would be really beneficial if you're going for, say, a Coptic one faith or something like that. I feel like there's a lot of potential with Ethiopia to be a really fun game, and it's overlooked in the base game. The second major update for Flavor Universalis, Mare Nostrum, focuses on the Mediterranean, specifically the nations of Provence and Aragon. While Provence does have quite a powerful and fun mission tree in the base game, Big Boss has turned it up to 11 here and crafted one that is amazing. Now, you're of course going to want to push into Brittany and Burgundy. You're eventually going to get cores on the entire French region, so you can eat France with Reconquest CBs, which is going to allow you to get a union over Aragon, and then another over Castile, and a third over Hungary. From here, you're going to unlock things like the Hungarian Black Army, Spanish colonist and flagship traditions, which is really cool. And you're going to get to do things like push into Greece and Jerusalem. There's even this mission here that eventually allows you to get all power cost reduction and governing capacity modifiers that scale based on the number of subjects you have. This could be very broken if utilized the right way. I love it. Now, of course, you're going to be able to form Jerusalem or France as you do things like push into Egypt and get all of your financial stuff in order. There's a lot of really cool things in here, like the retrial of Joan of Arc. Those are some fun roleplay things for the history buffs, like forming your own branch of the Capetian dynasty, those sorts of things. I think this is really one of the best campaigns in both the base game and this mod if you are just a fan of the medieval era from a lore and a roleplay perspective. And last but certainly not least is Aragon. Now, I really like Aragon in this mod. In fact, they might be one of the most interesting starts in the entire mod. First of all, very early in the game, you're going to get an event, most likely, from Albania, where Skanderbeg will present himself as a vassal to the Aragon. If you're able to secure Navarra very early, before he becomes a personal union under you, you can use this to get strong duchies and avoid an OPM personal union taking up a slot. We move into the mission tree, and you'll get some really good things like the ability to push against the Ottomans early, the ability to steal the actual raiding potential from Tunis or the other Berber pirates. And you can then push down in these directions to take care of stuff in this area. To the left of the mission tree, you have the Iberian Union, which allows you to either force the Iberian wedding to happen, or if it has already happened, you'll actually get an additional modifier that gives you an extra Diplo relation slot for the rest of the game. Either way, you get a restoration union on Portugal. You can start uniting this area very quickly, and then moving down into Morocco. This mission tree is amazing. You're going to eventually be able to do things that will get you most of the entirety of the Mediterranean coast. That means you could form yourself into Spain and do that mission tree and then come back and do the Roman Empire. Or you can come over here and form the Latin Empire. That is actually done via event, and only some of these are important in that way. But there's a lot of really good missions and modifiers that you can do here. It's actually really fun. I'm tempted to play this one if I'm going to do anything like on stream or that sort of thing. But let me know which one you guys think would be the most fun. Is it Aragon? Is it Provence? Is it Switzerland? Is it Ethiopia? Is it Sweden? Milan? Novgorod? This mod is in active development as we speak. Big Boss has said the next update will focus around Lubeck and the Teutonic Order. He's even shown a teaser of a concept for the next loading screen and some of Lubeck's events. If you want to see more, make sure you join the Discord for the mod in the description, because he posts teasers every couple of days. And let me know which country you think has the most interesting changes. I could really see so many of them as fun campaigns. If you guys are interested, maybe we could play it on stream or do some content for here as well. Let me know. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next Mod Spotlight video. Hey, you made it to the end of the video. How about checking out one of the other videos on the screen? Leave a like if you enjoyed, and subscribe if you want to see more. It really helps out the channel. Comment down below with other videos you'd like to see, or head on over to the Discord. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.